Yo, what is up? Guys, how's it going? Look at my hair, it looks crazy. Yo, am I going bald? I don't know. Dude, this may be really hard for you to believe, but I've had this hairline since I was like 12. For real. It's it's really weird. But either way, if I go bald, I'm just gonna shave it all off. I'm gonna rock it. No hair transplants for me, guys. Sorry. But welcome to this week's live. This is how to handle business crisis like a freaking boss. Okay, just a bit of a backstory over here on the average entrepreneur. Okay, when stuff goes wrong in business, he freaking panics. He panics, gets all emotional, and he's scrambling. He's not able to make good decisions. He ends up screwing his business even further than it's already screwed. And he ends up wrecking it to a place where either it takes months or years to get it back to where it was pre-crisis, or it just ends up crashing altogether. This average entrepreneur basically doesn't enjoy his business. He resents his business. He isn't having fun in business. It feels like he's created his own job for himself, and he's not really cut out for business, straight up. And then you have the elite entrepreneur, guys, the elite freaking entrepreneur. What does he do? He is ready for crisis. He doesn't necessarily know when it's going to strike. And it's not like it hits him and he's just all fun and games. Okay, it sucks. But he knows that the crises are a part of playing this game. And therefore, he has a corner of advisors, mentors, his team, his business partners, people that are able to help him make sense of the chaos and to create order from the chaos. And he smiles through the chaos because he knows that it's teaching him a lesson, something very valuable to make him stronger in the world of business, to make him an even more formidable force to be reckoned with. And because of that chaos, because of that failure that he's experienced in business, man, it allows him to actually rise up better, stronger, more able. And so today, what we're going to be talking about in this live is how to be that elite entrepreneur. And guys, just so you know, right, this spectrum of average entrepreneur and elite entrepreneur is really, it's a lifelong process. You'll never truly always be elite in some ways, even the best of the best. I mean, there's so many companies out there with incredible CEOs that eventually lost their edge and the company went tumbling down. Okay, so what I'm trying to say over here is that I'm not claiming to be elite, but I'm also definitely not average in every single way. I'm kind of a balance of both, and I'm still learning. And humbly, I share these knowledge build pieces with you. So without further ado, let's dive right in. I'm going to start with a personal story. Back when I was running my digital marketing agency, and we had like 40 plus employees, we had a ton of overhead. We were closing a ton of clients too, but we were also paying our sales reps like crazy. Now, there was this month where for some reason we just had a bunch of clients charging back. I mean, left, right, and center. And I'm not just talking about like $2,000, $3,000. I'm talking about like $10,000, $20,000 chargebacks per client. You have six of those stack up, 60 freaking 100K of chargebacks in a month. That kind of sucks. And at that stage, we were also heavily reinvesting into the SaaS product that we wanted to build. And we just were a little bit low on cash that month. And all those chargebacks were really, really going to suck. Now, all that to say, rather than getting into the weeds about this, what I want to share with you is a few very specific things. When that happened, I became very emotional and I became very worried. And we're having all these meetings, and I was like, guys, what's going to happen? What do we do? Are we going to have to give chargebacks? And I was catastrophizing in my mind. And he said, this might happen to you when you're in a crisis or a difficult situation in business, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be like this fatal crisis that's happening. And you might do what I was doing and just get really emotional. And I think the first thing that I realized through that upon reflection is, man, just recognize that it's kind of like when the stock market dips or your freaking crypto portfolio crashes. It can be very jarring because things were going well and all of a sudden this anomaly occurs. Just like when COVID happened, man, a lot of people got wrecked, not because of COVID, not because of the pandemic, not because of the recession, but because of their own mindset, their own emotions. So the first thing I say to you is that if you go through a business crisis, man, breathe. And, as cheesy as it sounds, things like meditation, releasing, freaking walk in the park, nature, unplugging, this stuff can be very, 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 very helpful because it takes your mind off of those things, and eventually you're able to kind of center yourself and zoom out and look at the long-term horizon. I think that's one of the keys, is that when you're emotional, you're looking at the immediate, but what you need to do inherently is stop being so emotional and essentially look at the big picture and recognize, okay, this is a minute thing in my journey. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to overcome this, etc., etc. The second thing that I recognize, well, actually, the second thing that I would do is start identifying exactly what the issues are. Because if you don't identify what the issues are, sorry, man, I'm actually really tired right now doing this live, but I'm in a different time zone. I'm in the capital of Pakistan right now. But all I'm saying is that I'm freaking committed to doing this live right now. So if you're watching this, please drop a live or a replay, because I really want to know who's watching this right now. I want to know who my boys are. So I was going with step 2 over here. Dude, step 2 is essentially identifying all the symptoms. So I make a list. Clients are charging back. Clients are sending us emails saying they're unhappy. Clients are saying they're going to sue us. What else is it? There's like cash flow is low. All these is like things that are a problem right now. Just like list them all out. And as you list them out, it's a really cathartic process, because now it's pen to paper, or even if you type it out. I really recommend pen to paper, ideally if you can. But either way, when it's out, it's very cathartic. And now you're looking at it and you're like, oh, okay, so this is the problem. Now it seems more manageable because now it's not in your head, it's out on paper. Second thing you want to do is you basically want to start looking at the 80-20. Okay, the 80-20 Pareto's law, his principle is that you go after the 20% of issues, and solving them is going to relieve 80% of your strain, for example. And 80% of your bottleneck or your crisis is going to be averted and essentially resolved if you go after this 20% of problems. So you go after, and what we did is we went after that, right? And we basically said, okay, you know what, the 80-20 over here is to just speak with clients. And what we did is we got on calls with every client and just heard them out. Just literally just let them rant, let them talk. And guys, I'm not joking, like 80% of the clients just basically decided to continue with no problems. And for 20 of them, we didn't even have to refund them the full amount. We just basically said, okay, you know what, we're going to refund like this X amount over X period of time, or like a reduced refund, whatever. We came up with something that was just going to be a win-win-win for everyone. And that was because we identified everything at first. The third thing that I would recommend you do after you are able to stop being so emotional and then identify all the issues, and then actually going after the 80-20, is then I would basically just freaking get the team to see the vision, get everyone realigned. That's one of the things that happens in a business crisis, right? Like, what you got to recognize is that as the entrepreneur, you are seeing this bright picture, this great picture. You're an eternal optimist, and it's okay. We can pivot infinitely, but your team has a limited sort of, I wouldn't say bandwidth, but you know how like a fuse, there we go, a limited fuse. It's like a firecracker or stick of dynamite, right? It only has a limited fuse, and you can't burn it the whole way. It's eventually going to explode. That's how teammates are. That's how employees are. And so what you got to do is you always got to extend that fuse by reiterating the vision and showing how solid you are. Because if you aren't solid and you aren't able to show them that you're unshakable and that you've got everything figured out and that you have a vision, you have a plan, then they're not going to trust you. They're not going to want to go into battle with you again. And they're going to essentially feel worried for their job, their livelihood, and they're going to find a new job. So in crisis situations, manage your emotions, then identify exactly what the issues are, take action on the 20% of issues that can alleviate 80% of the problems, and then realign your team, show them the vision, be charismatic, and get them back on board. And yeah, guys, I think one of the biggest ways that you can get that degree of clarity, right, in those 3 steps and not be so emotional, beyond all the things that I mentioned, is inherently by having a group of men around you that are on the same journey, that are entrepreneurs, that want the best for you, but aren't going to spare any expense or any, not going to be worried about telling you the truth. They'll give you the true feedback and tell you, hey man, this is what the problems are, this is what the issues are, and this is how you're falling short. And then actually help you strategize on what to do next because they've been through that, right? And that's what we do at the Entrepreneur Brotherhood. It's not a coaching program. It's not another high-ticket guru spewing his crap about how you need to try this next tactic that has an expiration date on it. No, this is real entrepreneurs that want real connection, that are there to support each other. It's a tribe of men that are willing to support, give feedback, and give accountability where it's most needed, not just in business, but in life. Because ultimately, we all want to reach our full potential and we all want to squeeze the lemon and exhaust our gas tanks, deplete them fully, so that on our last dying breath, we know that we lived a life with zero regrets. So that's what the Entrepreneur Brotherhood is. If you want to learn more about it, feel free to DM me. I'd be more than happy to speak with you about it. You can hop on a call. I'm not going to pitch you on anything. Just want to make sure that the right guys join the Brotherhood and that we're able to find the right guys. So hope you enjoyed this live. Handle your crises like a freaking boss, and I'll see you on the next one.